It's a big game whenever we face Liverpool, but this one, it feels particularly big. Will Amorim get that much needed spark, that statement win to get the hounds off his back? Even though Sir Jim says he'll get 3 years, we all know results dictate whether or not that'll be the case. And can United compound Slot's recent misery? They very much need the win after 3 losses in a row, and Slot struggling to get a tune out of his big money signings. It's a story of us trying to win back-to-back games for the first time under Amorim, Slot trying not to lose 4 games in a row. I genuinely don't know what to expect. In today's video, I want to take a look at the secret to success for Amorim's United, the predicted lineups, and the injury news. As always, guys, drop a like if you enjoy the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and let's get into it.
Go! Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Now look, Anfield is never an easy place to go. We know that in recent years, but our managers have done some wild things. What will Amorim do on Sunday? Tactically, the way I see it, we've got 2 ways of being successful against Liverpool. The first, we play like Palace, we soak up the pressure and play on the counter-attack. The second, we play like Chelsea and we press, take advantage of the weaknesses in build-up the Slot's team has shown in the last couple of months. I can't see it being the latter, as even against Sunderland, Amorim went for a very risk-adverse approach. We sat in the 4-4-2 mid-block and largely didn't try and press. With the ball, we kicked it long, particularly from goal kicks, avoiding any risks in playing out, trying to win those second balls higher up the pitch. United under Amorim do win more games when we have less of the ball. It's still not a win percentage to be happy with, but it's better. Now, I could debate the sustainability of this approach, but right now, Amorim just needs something. So that's why I can see him going with that sort of Palace style, and my only hope is that we don't sit in that 5-2-3 mid-block like we did against City away. We saw the disruption that caused at the Etihad. At Anfield, I need to see either the 4-4-2 again like we saw against Sunderland, or the 5-4-1 out of possession. It's what Palace used to great effect, and United even used it against Liverpool at Anfield under Amorim last season. Don't give players like Wirtz that space in midfield to work with. Force Liverpool into less dangerous positions out wide and try and win the ball back there. With the ball, I do expect United to be quite direct yet again. I'm not sure how much this is going to work up against the likes of Konate and Van Dijk. It might be a long day for Seshko if all we're doing is hoping he's going to win aerial duels higher up the pitch. But this Liverpool press can be exploited now. We know that they like to keep that +1 in the back line, and that spare man can be found. Especially now as there's less athletes in the Liverpool midfield, they have started to have less control in their Premier League matches this season. And United did quite well last season at Anfield. An instance where the 3-4-3 actually gives us an advantage if Slot sticks to that same pressing shape. But with the pressure on Amorim, will we take any risks trying to play out now? We can also hurt Liverpool much like Palace did, exploit the spaces either side of the centre-backs on the quick transitions. Get players like Mbeumo making those runs in those channels. We're not sure who's going to be in the left 10. Going to talk a little bit about that later on in my predicted lineup. But whoever is in there, can they make the full use of those channel areas? And also, can we get our wing-backs making the runs to get in behind Liverpool's high defensive line, much like Palace did? Whatever happens, I feel United do need to start converting more of these direct attacks if we're going to have a chance up against Liverpool. Now on to the team news for United, and we know that Martinez is not going to be playing in this one, and it doesn't look like Mazraoui is going to be playing either. For Liverpool, it does look as if Alisson is going to be the main person who's going to be out for them. Gravenberch, Konate had some scares in the international break, but it does look as if they're going to be fit to play come Sunday. Now on to my predicted lineup. I'm not going to go on about how I want Amorim to set this team up. It's pointless. I want Fernandes out of the pivot. I want Mino starting. We've seen how good Fernandes was in that game up against Liverpool at Anfield last season. That video's been doing the rounds recently, and we're going to need another similar performance from him on Sunday if we're going to have a chance. Mino similarly has had some very good games up against Liverpool in the past, but we just know that he's not going to start in this game. I can't see Amorim going away from what he likes, and the only change I can really see is probably bringing in Ugarte for Casemiro. We've seen the same thing after the last international break. Casemiro travels a load to Brazil, and then Amorim doesn't want to play him straight away after the international break then. We saw the problems that Ugarte had in that midfield up against Man City, hooked in that game yet again. For me, I can't believe that this guy is still starting games for United, but it does look likely to happen. And the other player I'm going to pick out is going to be Dalot, because I can see this guy starting again. I do want Ahmad to play at right wing back, but I just don't think he's going to. In these big games under Amorim, we've never played Ahmad in that right wing back spot. He saves him for games up against the like Sunderland, Burnley, and we play really well. We saw up against Sunderland. It was the key to everything United did really well in attack, was the link up between Mbeumo and Ahmad on that right hand side. But then we go up against a big team and we go away from that. But I would like to see us try it. Be a little bit more aggressive. It's one of the reasons why we struggle so much offensively in these games, simply because we don't have attacking players on the pitch. You can see in this lineup, you've got 5 defenders on that pitch. You add in Agate, basically 6. So you're leaving 4 attacking players to do the majority of the attacking stuff. If you are going to play Dalot at right wing back, I don't like it, but I can't see Amorim doing anything else. The back 3, I can see Amorim sticking with it. Maybe Maguire would come in. Maybe De Ligt would go out to wide centre-back. Maguire go in the middle. That's a possibility. But I do think Amorim's probably going to stick with his tried and tested. He went away from it for a couple of games, but then he went back to it at Sunderland. De Ligt has been playing out of his skin. Yoro has had a very solid start to the season. As much as people don't like to admit it, Amorim does like Luke Shaw. So I can see that trio continuing in the Liverpool game. And now on to the left 10 with Mason Mount. And I can see him keeping his place. He just gives you more defensively than what Cunha does. And it's clear that Amorim rates him. Cunha also travelled alongside Casemiro a lot to Brazil. So Amorim already mentioned that in the pre-match press conference. So I think Mount is going to keep his place. And then you've got Cunha coming in off the bench if United need a goal then. Up against Liverpool is going to be pivotal, having everyone on the same page defensively. So Mount will give you a lot more than what Cunha will in that regard. Amorim is always going to be a sort of defensively minded manager. Already spoke about that with the wing-back choices. And then on to Lamens. United went for that risk-adverse approach up against Sunderland. Can't see much different up against Liverpool. Trying obviously not to put the young goalkeeper under any risks. Use the long pass that he's got, trying to find Seshko up the pitch. Going to be a huge game for him though. That hostile atmosphere. Can he keep the mistakes at bay? Or Nana struggled with that. Can Lamens obviously keep that solid work going now from what he had up against Sunderland? He showed some very good instances in that game, but he wasn't really pressured an awful lot. Going to see a lot more pressure up against Liverpool at Anfield now. And there we are, guys. It's going to be hard for United to get anything out of this game. We know that. We're just going to have to hope that United can pull something out of the bag come Sunday. Let me know what your guys' score predictions are going to be down in the comments down below. As always, guys, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll catch you in the next one.